certainly we say, well, safety has to be a core value. And to those companies who go, well, safety is our first priority. Priorities shift, values don't. Values are kind of ingrained. And, the best thing a company can do is make sure that the people they're hiring, especially at the supervisory level, share those core values. And a company can't be, talking the talk but not walking the walk. If you say safety first, but then if you don't meet your production quota, you're out the door, then safety is going to be sacrificed on the altar of production. But the other thing is, again, the human element. Right now, they talk about the Great Resignation, they talk about hiring problems. Well, value those workers you have. We talk about HR, human resources, the Mine Act, which I deal with all the time. They talk about the most valuable resource, the miner. It's in codified legislation, and yet again, I see a lot of companies that really don't do a lot to instill loyalty. And one of the things that you can do to get workers to care is to show you care about them. You know,
Absolutely.
by
Yeah.
providing them a safe and healthful workplace. Don't do just the bare minimum that is necessary. If all you're doing is complying with OSHA regulations, you're complying essentially with ANSI standards from the 1960s.
Yeah.
And think about that. Would you drive a car that was designed to the safety standards of the 1960s? I mean, you might if it's an old Mustang
Yeah.
or something, but for the most part, you wouldn't want to put your kids in it. And so, that's really, what I look at is, you've got to look at the unique characteristics of your workforce, foster diversity, be accepting of diversity, be inclusive. Again, the whole diversity, equity, and inclusion is very much something that I'm knee deep in right now. And I heard it described a very good way, which is, diversity is being invited to the party, but inclusion is being asked to dance. And so, that's kind of a challenge as well. You might say, oh, we have women working at our construction company, but how many of them are in supervisory positions? How many of your African American workers are? How many of your safety professionals are? You know, mix it up a bit, and you're going to be able to attract a more diverse and qualified workforce. So those are a couple of the things. But the other is, you know, very often companies give short shrift to training. And we have more and more use. I'm about to go down a passion trail of mine. We have more and more use of temporary workers and part-time workers and what's sometimes called the fissured workforce, where people are, having their main job and a side hustle or two or three part-time jobs. Well, that leads to worker stress. It leads to fatigue, which impacts fitness for duty. But it also deprives workers of a lot of benefits that, really were established to be kind of a social safety net. And, once the workers see that, you just as soon replace them with a temp worker as keep them, they're not going to really, again, look at your place as a place of employment where they can build a career. And for their part, the temporary workers, they are getting injured and killed at like twice the rates of
Yeah.
permanent workers. And a lot of it goes to the training issue. They're not getting that deeper onboarding from the safety and health perspective because, once again, the employers don't see them as being there, for an extended period. So why invest the money to do that training? So, these are some of the things I kind of pound the soapbox on. Obviously, safety and health management programs are great. I am a big supporter of those, but you've got to have a good safety culture to start with. Otherwise, you're just, going through the exercises, but there's not going to really be any meat on the bones of that program.